Welcome everybody. It's Friday Night Comics, or that's that's fireworks. It's the We Believe in Comics Friday Night Workshops at the Sequential Artists Workshop. Um, Usually I say maybe it's not Friday night where you are. Maybe it's Saturday morning, which is true for some people, or maybe it's Friday afternoon for some people, or even late Friday morning if you're in the Pacific, I think. Anyway, welcome, and you're at the Sequential Artists Workshop. And the Sequential Artists Workshop is a nonprofit school, 501c3 nonprofit with courses and all sorts of things. You can find us at sawcomics.org. Um, we have our biggest program starting in a couple of weeks. It's called the year-long comic certificate program, and it's a 9 months soup to nuts, learn everything about how comics work, and it's a really intensive, wonderful course. And you get one more chance to see. I'll show it. Yeah, there you get one more chance to come to a free training session about it. I think that's happening Thursday. You can go to sawcomics.org and find out about that. In this slot next week, we have Kara Gormley, and she'll be uh, doing something with rabbits. I don't know what. Anyway, if you donated, thank you. The donations help us keep these evenings free, and they help us pay the instructors, and they help support scholarships and things like that, and all sorts of things that we're doing on a constant basis. So thank you for your donations. So please no inappropriate speech or imagery tonight. When we share, we like to keep it PG-13. But you can share on social media if you don't get a chance to share tonight. Hashtag Friday Night Comics. You can tag us at Comics Workshop. I think Laura is Hey Laura Gao. I'll put that in the chat.
Mhm.
And we're at members.sawcomics.org. You can find us there. And we ask that you watch the time. We end these at 90 minutes after start time. So that's about 87 minutes from now. But there's lots of ways to share your work, including our PDFs that we make weekly. We made it, we put them up on Seesaw Comics, I think 2 weeks ago. We did Rites of Passage and they looked super good. They were really fun. That was that PDF. So enjoy. We're here because Laura Gao has a new book out, newish. I'll have Laura tell us exactly when it came out, actually. And it's got a lot of sports in it. So, right?
Yes.
Laura?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. My book came out, oh gosh, the time has passed. It came out in March, so early this year. And
Okay.
yes, a lot of sports. Well, it has a lot of everything. It's kind of like also a rom-com and like a mother and daughter story, but the main characters are rock climbers. That's where the action and sports come in.
Awesome. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm also going to make sure to put a link to your book in the chat because we want people to pick it up. But yeah, we're ready for whatever sports and action workshop you have for us. I'm going to spotlight you. You're going to get big on everybody's screen. Is that all
Oh,
right?
cool. All right.
All right.
No
Let's see.
pressure.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
pressure.
thank you. Also, well,
Welcome.
hello everyone. My name is Laura. I'm so excited to be here. I'm also very grateful some of y'all like gave up your precious Friday evenings and afternoons and Saturday mornings from all around the world. See someone's here from New Zealand, which is so cool. I feel very loved. So thank you for being here. I'm very excited to lead this workshop. And I say lead, but really it's going to be kind of a collaborative thing where this is my first time teaching a lot of this action stuff that, I've spent 3 years drawing over the course of my last graphic novel, Kirby's Lessons for Falling in Love. So I'm excited to see what we can whip up together. But just for a quick about me, I am a comic artist and a writer. I'm based here in San Francisco, and I have two books out. The one that Tom just shared is Kirby's Lessons for Falling in Love. That's my most recent one. It's a rom-com and kind of like a mother-daughter family story as well, where the main character is a rock climber. And then my first book, Messy Roots, is a graphic memoir about being queer and Asian and an immigrant here in the US. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Hello from Santa Cruz. Yes, Marin Headlands is beautiful. This is actually where I proposed to my fiance just last month. So
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, definitely a lot of heart in this. Awesome. Okay, so let's get started. Action and comics. So I'm going to start off by sharing a few things that I've done for Kirby to give you an idea of like what we'll be drawing here today. Um, I love drawing action. I used to think I wouldn't like it, but then I think as I did it over the years and like watching stuff like some of my favorite sports mangas like Haikyuu, I Haikyuu, what else is there? There's also so many like basketball mangas. I recently finished a graphic novel series called Avant-Garde, which is like a bunch of like college female basketball players. I think all of that made me realize, wow, there's so much fun, kind of dramatic action and flow and dynamicism that you can get when doing sports comics and anything really with action that you can't get just like with like a normal like quiet scene, right? And so what do I mean by this? Let me share a few examples. So I'm going to share my screen and let's start with Haikyuu. Do y'all see? Um,
Yeah.
okay,
Well,
cool.
volleyball.
Yes, volleyball. So yeah, so for those of y'all who haven't seen Haikyuu, definitely go watch it. Definitely go read it. One of my favorite sports animes and mangas of all time. I went in being like, wow, what can a, graphic novel about just volleyball like even be? Like, why are people so crazy about it? And then I read it and watched it, and I was like, oh, wow. Like I understand. Like I knew nothing about volleyball before, and then like now my brother and I try to play beach volleyball like every week just because of this graphic novel. And so I'm gonna share a few shots from it that I learned from when I was making Kirby. So, um, the artist of Haikyuu, I know this is really blurry, but work with me here. The artist of Haikyuu is really good at a couple things. Not just drawing the people, like clearly, yes, the people look great, like the action shots look great, but we see here there are two main things I like to look into with action comics. One is the dynamicism. So you could very easily draw someone just hitting a volleyball like straight on, but it's a little boring, right? How can we show how dynamic and how charged and how emotional the sports is? Well, we see here that the artist has decided to kind of like lean this person and like almost like dramatize and like foreshorten the arm, right? Like foreshortening is the word for whenever you're looking at something straight on. And so whenever it's close to you, like this hand and arm just becomes that much bigger. And we have this focus, right, of the ball hitting the arm and coming off. And we see almost like this, like these blurred, I don't know, like sweat stains maybe, and like the blurriness of the arm kind of make it that much more dramatic, right? So that's like a really cool scene. Here's another shot here where the main character, he's kind of like a freak athlete because like every anime manga needs a freak athlete, right? And so in this scene, the freak athlete, he's a spiker, so the ball comes up and he jumps up before anyone can realize. And then we have this like ultra like dramatized shot of him just like flying into the air, getting ready for the shot. And the best thing is like I love how his arms and limbs just look almost like they're like rubber, right? They look like they're just like flinging and flailing all over the place. And even though this isn't anatomically correct, by kind of exaggerating these movements, right? These like ultra long limbs here on the left, exaggerating how far his hips and shoulders are able to twist, and also exaggerating like the curves, right? Like the curves of the arm and the hand here. And then like the dynamic lines coming out of it to show motion, we get this like sense of rhythm and action, and like you feel like you are right there about to like spike the ball with him. So that's kind of like what I want to focus on in this workshop. I'll give some examples from my own books. So in Messy Roots, I grew up playing basketball, so I put a lot of uh, I'm now showing the Messy Roots shot, just making sure. Okay, cool. So yeah, I grew up playing basketball, so I loved being able to draw basketball shots, getting past your defender. I use a lot of these like action lines here. Um, I have the my shirt flailing out, my hair flailing out, like little touches like this provide so much dynamicism. And then here I do this like fun little montage shot too, where I have myself highlighted shooting the ball, but then the rest of the montage is
Hmm.
around here. And then lastly, I'm going to show Kirby, which I mentioned is about a climber. And my fiance climbs a lot, so I've gone with her. I cannot say that I'm anywhere near as good as these people in this art, but it was a lot of fun to just kind of like watch her climb, to like go and like watch some of the like Olympic climbers when they were on TV. And then every once in a while, I'll just like, oh, whoa, like pause there. That's a cool shot. Let me take a screenshot and then let me use that as inspo for my book. So like a lot of these shots here are just like really fun and dynamic to draw because there's of people flying, of people like twisting in all these ways. And then I really like kind of this page on the right here, which you saw in the promo, where I got to kind of like do this montage of the main character completing their climb in like 4 or 5 different ways. And then you have this like very like unconventional page format where I get to like show them all at once here. So yeah, so that's basically what we're gonna do today. Um, you don't have to draw basketball, you don't have to draw climbing. You don't even have to draw a sport if you're like, I don't really like sports, like you can draw where like non-sport actions, like you can draw like you trying to like run to school, right? Or like you can draw like you walking your dog or like I don't know, like when you're like hastily trying to finish the dishes because you like have to like go finish other chores or like go to the movies or something. But either way, no matter what action you choose, like we can have a lot of fun with exaggerating movement, with action lines and everything. So I will now share from my app iPad and we can do some code drawing together.
Great. Jackie asks if tripping over her own feet count.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Cool. So I'm gonna start the broadcast from my iPad and then I'll stop sharing here. Cool. So you're gonna now see my iPad and I'm just gonna create a new screen on Procreate. You can draw on paper, you can draw on cardboard, like you can draw, I don't know, like with blood on your own arm. No, I'm kidding. Um, do like whatever you want for the drawing, but I think it'd be good for us to start off maybe for the next like 5 or so minutes, just doing some very loose gesture drawing. So someone asked, what is something you should keep in mind when drawing action? Okay, so we'll practice a few of those things. I think I mentioned a couple when I was showing the examples, but let's try some examples. So let's take a look at maybe a sport. Um, so I'll do one climbing and then maybe we can try another sport. Climbing action shot.
Oh, that's a good Google.
Yeah, and of course, like it's
Oh,
always great to have like a nice little reference photo. It just makes things more fun. Okay, so let's start with this. This one's kind of fun. I like the angle of it. It's save. It's kind of like a top-down shot. We get some action, some cool angle. It's a little bit more dramatized, right? And then we have the foreshortening here, which, as I said, like it's where your arms or like something is like closer to the camera than usual. So let's do a few practice shots and then we can kind of just like very simple gestures. And what do I mean by gesture drawing? Gesture drawing is basically where you don't really like draw the whole thing. You just kind of get like a sense of the feel of the action. So I like to always have just like a small drawing guide up. And then um so here I'll turn it this way. Just over, let's say like 60 seconds, go ahead and choose your own reference or you can follow mine. And I want you to just like capture the feel of the action rather than getting exactly the face or the proportions or everything. Try to see if you can capture that dynamicism. And I'll kind of talk as I draw here. And this will just be like a short exercise before we get into the actual comic itself. So here I have that. Oh, we have the general face, and I usually try to get some kind of motion going. So we have the torso is kind of like, this way,
Mhm.
right? And then the great thing about actions is I always think in terms of triangles. The more triangles, um, are we keeping Laura's screen up with the images? You see my iPad, yeah?
Yeah, we see it. I think Nikki was asking before that. We got it.
Oh, okay, cool. The great thing about triangles are super dynamic. You cannot go wrong with triangles. Usually, I try to break up kind of the figure into triangles, kind of like this. So we have like,
Mhm.
because she's leaning this way, the hip kind of comes out like this, right? And then we have a triangle here, triangle there, right? And this is like kind of like the fun part is like you get a little feel. And so you get a feel of the action. We're just doing like very like basic drawings. And if we want to, then at some point kind of add it up, add some action lines and make it a little bit more dynamic, then here's where we can be a little bit more fun. So I'm not going to draw the detail, just sort of doing like a little example. But let's say if this is her climbing the rock and it looks like the wall is coming this way, right? So we're like viewing her this way. Then what if instead of doing it exactly in this pose, we can make it a little bit more dynamic where we see her hands exactly what the
Oh.
camera is, right? And then her arms come out this way. And then now I foreshortened it even more, right? I foreshorten it even more to where it's like, oh my gosh, it's almost as if like you're now it's like in Titanic where you're like, Jack, no, don't fall, right? You're like holding on to that person. Like you see how now it's like even more dramatic than this right here. And then we can add some like flair where like let's say she has kind of like long flowing hair coming down, and then if she has like maybe like a long shirt that's like falling, here's where we can kind of get a little bit more fun with it. So this is an example of like how you can take something that's already kind of dynamic and then like make it like even more dynamic that way. So that's that. And then let's do one more. Um, and this one I will do for the comic. So I've been playing a lot of pickleball lately. Does anyone play pickleball here?
I'm sure people do play.
Okay,
I
cool.
played it once. It was super fun, but I couldn't remember all the rules. It seemed like there were a lot of rules.
That's fair. Yeah, there's quite a bit. Pickleball is like probably my first racket sport. And yeah, a lot of people here in SF play it. It's been a ton of fun. What's like a fun little dynamic shot? Okay, there's this one's pretty cool. I like how the arm
Oh.
here is foreshortened, and then we have a nice little like paddle coming in. So let's start with this, and then I'm gonna turn this one this way. So let's do a very quick outline of this. So I'm gonna once again draw it as I see it, and then we're gonna try to like make it a little bit more dynamic after that. So just kind of like show where the triangles are here, here. This one kind of comes in, this one goes in. So you have the face. Looks like her torso kind of comes in and out like that. You have one come in here, one come in here. This one goes in and this one comes out. And then I don't have space for the paddle, so
You're gonna make that paddle enormous, aren't you?
Well, yeah, you've guessed where we're going. So yeah, so this is one thing where we can try to foreshorten now. And one kind of trick I like to do is like sometimes I like distort the image if I want to do even more foreshortening. Um,
Uh-oh.
yeah, so this is like, if you get a little lazy and you're like, I really don't want to like keep erasing and changing, sometimes I'll like distort so that it's like almost like a fake foreshortening, right? And then here, let's say the ball is like super big. And then here's the paddle coming in, right? Paddle, and it's like bam, right? And then the cool thing about comics is you can like be like bam. It's like bam. And another thing I like to do is you can take this, right, and then I'm gonna cut and paste, and you can actually add a little bit like motion blur here. And I know this is like we're being extra here, but I just want to show you like a few tips and tricks that you can use when we go into the actual comic. So you got a little bit of motion blur, and it's like, wow, like this racket is going like 100 miles per hour, right? Like we know there's some great action going on here.
I'm working on paper, so I'm gonna have to mimic that on in my notebook here. But I think it'll be okay.
Cool. Okay. So I know we're time is going by fast, so we should definitely get started on the comics soon. But I'll give people like a couple minutes just to like do their own sketches. Once again, we're not trying to be perfect about proportions or anything or details. Just getting your wrist loose and just really like, feel the action going on.
Should we maybe find one reference of the thing we want to do something about, like whether it's dog walking or
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
personal
Yes.
reference?
So for the comic, choose some kind of action and find a few references that you like, things that are dynamic, things that are a little bit like foreshortened or fun, and different angles too. Like if you have like a top down or like a zoom in, a zoom out, we're gonna start play with some of those angles in this comic.
So I wonder if you typed in like reading action shot into Google,
Oh,
would you get it?
right? Maybe or like a drawing. Yeah, reading
Yeah.
action shot. I'm sure there's something like
All
that.
right, let's see what it looks like.
Oh, it's just kids reading.
Not a lot of action.
Yeah, no, not a lot of action. I think Google's a little confused.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Maybe, you know, there's a town in Britain called Reading, right? Is probably picking up some Reading action shots. Um, all right,
Mm,
well, that didn't work. Do you think there's a pickleball manga?
oh,
I don't mean to make this a bunch of
that's a good question. I
Google
feel like
rabbit
by
hole.
now there should be, right? Because like
Yeah.
it's so popular now. Manga. I'm sure there's like maybe like a comic out there too.
Oh yeah. Oh wait.
Oh,
What
webtoons,
ball?
The Angry Pickleball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nothing
interesting.
on, but not mainstream manga yet anyway.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so everyone choose what you want to do for the comic. Maybe I'll stick with pickleball since I already drawn something there. Take a few action shots that you like, and then let's start crafting a comic. So, let's see. This is a cool shot. He's like hitting it behind his back.
Oh.
That's cool. And then you can do like some zoom ins and zoom outs as well. Picture of pickleball court game. Oops, not chopping. Whoa, this is a cool shot. I'm having good ideas with some of these already. Maybe we'll do one last bird's eye.
Oh.
These are cool. Okay, maybe I'll do this.
Oh, and Lee in the chat says they found somebody shots of people reading while skateboarding and doing other sports. So that's pretty interesting.
Hmm.
Action.
Skateboarding is a good one, actually. For like I guess it is a sport too, or like if you dance, dancing would be really cool.
Mm.
Cooking actually takes a lot of action. I feel like sometimes I get kind of sweaty cooking. Cool. Someone says orchestra conductors. Ooh, that's a really good one. If you're like shredding a guitar, that's always a great one. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna make my canvas a standard square, and you don't have to draw the same things as I do, but I think for sports mangas, one thing to note is that um, you can get really fun with the page layouts. So, for example, when we saw Haikyuu, a lot of the action shots, right? Which one do we see? Like these, a lot of dynamic lines, this things kind of like popping in and out, a lot of really awesome dynamic lines. So you don't have to do the classic four panel if you don't want to. Feel free to get a little wild with it. So I'm going to start off with maybe, I think always a good way to start off when I think about comics is starting off either with a zoomed out shot of the background and introducing the scene, or you start off with something really dynamic, right? So you can kind of choose for yourself what you want that to be. I might start off with something a little bit dynamic just to kind of make it fun, like push the reader directly into the shot. And so maybe this is something where the ball is coming in, and then we have the paddle.
What should we be thinking about? Like a four panel thing, a single page thing with many panels, a two panel thing? What do you think?
Oh, I think it's up to you. I would say like probably at least three panels. I
Okay.
think it'd be nice to do like maybe like one zoom out, one zoom in, one that's like a little bit more face on. And that way it gives you a lot of like different action shots to play with. And like as I said with like the Haikyuu example, action's always better when your panels are a little bit more diagonal. So I kind of plan on having my panels be sort of like something like this, or even better, if you want, you can break it up even further. Maybe do like something like this, like one, two, three, four. So you can decide how you want that to be, but I think that would be fun. Maybe I'll do some panel layout like this.
That's super,
So
super dynamic.
yeah, the more dynamic, the better for a lot of these. So yeah, so for the first one, I think I'll do like a zoom in thing just to kind of like bring the reader directly into the shot. And so here I'm gonna have the paddle kind of like come in right here. So it's as if the ball, so it's the ball.
You going to be using dialogue or anything?
I will, yes.
Hmm.
I will. I usually put that in the end after I kind of like envision where I want the art to be. I just put this on its own separate layer. So if I'm putting the reader directly into the shot, then and I envision this as like the pickleball being hit, right? So maybe I can have what's like a nice hitch, like it could be like dink. Yeah. And then maybe we'll leave this space for some kind of dialogue that I'll put later. Probably like a teammate being like, like smash it or like something like that. So now we've established what's going on in the shot, and then next, I think it would be cool to have. to kind of introduce the player, right? So let me just pull this out so it makes it a little easier for y'all to see the reference as I go. So here's like more of like a heads-on one. This is the confines of my comic. So in this heads-on shot here, so I have where someone like has hit the ball over, and then now it's probably the opposite team receiving it, right? So here, just kind of get an idea, right? Like the shoulders come in, the hips like lock at this point, triangle, triangle here, and then like the big paddle, which I can deal with later. So let's start off with this. And then I will like refine it as I go, but I want to make sure I'm capturing the motions first, as we did in the warm-up. So there's the hip, the legs come out this way, and then this one comes in like that. This arm kind of like goes out to like nowhere, but the important thing is like it's really interesting like backwards shot. This is going to be a little hard to draw. I feel like, how does it work? It's like here's the paddle, and like the shoulder almost like bends backwards like this to hit the ball. So that's kind of like the general. And then now let's refine it a little bit. So bring this in. Or actually, I'm gonna add it as a reference. Cool. So what we have here, shot. And then I'm going to almost like curve him even more than he actually is, just to give that a little bit dynamicism. And I want to like purposely even like bring his shirt up. So like this is his back, right? Then if this was actually his back, and I want it to seem like, oh, he's like really working hard for that shot, right? Then let's bring his like shirt out so that it looks like it's like he's flying. And then here his shirt would kind of like fly out like that. But this, I'm going to come off the screen so I don't need to worry about that arm. And then we have these folds, and these folds are really cool because it shows dynamicism with like the way that his shirt is being forced to almost like work with his actions. And
Mm.
then we have the leg. Now, how do I want, so this leg is pretty interesting. I could have also his leg flare out like this, like his pants. So that way it seems like, he's also working extra hard for that shot. There's that leg. Since it's closer to us, I'm going to make it a lot bigger than it seems in the photo. I understand there's a leg kind of like come out of that. And then here, this is a lot of fun. Um, and yes, I know I'm drawing outside the confines of the frame. I will bring it back in later. But I really like one thing to take note. You see that right foot and where it steps? One interesting thing when we're talking about like weight and balance is that like so much force is going to be on that right leg, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the thing that I like to do when I'm exaggerating this is if this is the foot, you can do some fun stuff where like let's say I had like right where he lands is like where we're gonna have like smoke come out, right? And you see how that like makes it so much more dynamic and fun. It's like almost like he's skidding, right? He's like skidding across the court just to grab that ball. This is like the last ball on Earth and he needs it. So that like another just like fun tidbit I like to share for, and then I'm always really bad at hands, so I'm just going to like roughly do something like that. Don't look too closely at the hands. Um, Once again, we're just doing action, not anatomy, so just like have a little bit of fun with that there. So cool. So yeah, so that's that shot there. I'm going to erase the little guiding lines, and then I'm going to place that where? Let's place that here. And then maybe I want the ball to kind of be shot out this way
Mm.
to like fill something, right? So I could have it come out this way. So it's a little fun. And then later on, if I want to blur it and stuff, I can totally blur it. All right, so there's that. Now, so we have this like nice little zoomed in action shot. We have like a more face on where it's like we're introducing like the main character or something, or maybe the main opponent. I can imagine the sequence being like, some speech bubble in the beginning from someone, your teammate or something, being like, hey, yo, like smash that. And then maybe this is your opponent being like, not today. And then let's have a little bit of like other fun sports banter. Let's zoom out a little bit for those who may not even know this pickleball, or like let's say you're doing orchestra, you're doing cooking. Let's zoom out and like give people a sense of like where is this taking place. So take your little like bird's eye view or eye shot or whatever, and let's go ahead and play with that. So
Oh, look at that. Wow.
yeah. I'll add this as a reference too for people who want to see it. Oh, oops. There you go. Cool. Okay, so let's do a nice zoomed out view. So where do we have the actions coming in? Right now we have this coming in this way. We have him coming in that way and like his. So in a way, like they're all kind of coming this way. So maybe I want my scene to also like go this way, just to have like movement throughout the panels. So in that case, I will probably draw. Um, I'm going to flip this, right? And then I'm going to draw kind of the court. Going this way. And maybe it's like a multi-court situation. They're at like a nice little tournament. And how are these courts? It's like, the net. Kitchen. Some rough stuff right here. Let me take off these lines. And then I'm going to distort it for the angle because the ones closer to us should technically be bigger. Adjust some of the angles here. Cool. Okay, so let's say this is a pickleball court. And then we got little people, right? Like playing on it.
Look
So draw your people how you want them to be.
at those long shadows on that photo. That's got to be like right at sunset or something.
Yeah, yeah, I really like that. Let's do some dynamic ones. So maybe this person's running. And little shadows. And then we got like other people here, right? These don't need to be super in depth. Maybe these people just are up here. And then maybe you have someone like, maybe like this is a bench and they're sitting here waiting. Like, woo. Um,
Oh, I love that overhead shot. That looks so good.
Thank you. And then let's just fill in some of the court. Nice. So now we have like a nice little like zoom out. The reader knows, hey, oh, they're probably playing some kind of racket sport and looks like, they're at a park or like a tournament of some sort. And then let's do one last shot. What do we want here? Okay, so let's plant. Maybe this is where like the opponent and the main character like get together and like, all right, like good game, and maybe I want like a
Mm.
cool little like net shot right here. Here's the net. And then maybe it's like a zoom in. Mm. And it's a little big. I want to fit the other character. Other character is wearing a hat. And then I'll take off his sunglasses for this one. Man's got a nice little beard going on.
Oh, look at that. Oh, he took the sunglasses off. I wondered.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, you gotta, you know, we'll say he's like nice and sweaty. We'll give him some little crow's lines. So let's add some sweat here. So sweat usually like falls this way, right? Let's have it coming off the chin. There you go. Some sweat off the neck. And then maybe this is the opponent. We'll give her like a little bun right here. And then they're talking. I guess technically the net wouldn't be this high, but you can kind of imagine this is like a nice little dramatic view where they're like, either trash talking each other or being like, "Oh, great job." Depends on how wholesome you want to be in this comic. Um, cool. So yeah, that's that. And then now we can add some dialogue. So I've placed a few markers for where I want the dialogue to be. There's one here.
Oh, right, the dialogue.
And of course, generally, if I was doing like a graphic novel, I probably would have all the dialogue written already. But the fun part about doing just like comics like this for fun is now we get to just be a little bit more creative. So here you have something coming in. Let's have a nice little like shouting dialogue. Um, maybe someone just hit it and they're like, "Ah," and then we have here. It's like, let's see, where should we put this? Maybe like here. It's like nice try. And then here, you can have a lot more space now that we can cover up some
Oh,
of
yeah.
these. So let's say it's here. And here's like some space here. So this one, white and black. And then since at 11 you win, so 11, 11, 7, round 2. And then let's see. All right, nice try. 11, 7, round 2. How to learn that shot? Where'd you learn that shot? And then here we can have being like something cute and funny, like um watching you. Oh, all right, we decided to go the wholesome route. So here we got the arg. And then let me actually make this arg. Black. So it stands out a lot more.
I love this filled in word balloon thing. This is a great trick.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think since we're not, or we probably don't have time to add in color for this, I always like just like playing with shadows this way. Um, and yeah, so now we can just want to add more action lines, but this one needs to be filled in. Then let's add some shading. stands out a little.
Yeah, wow.
There we go. And then let's go ahead and shade their faces. So it's like, you know,
Great.
there you go. And I will that. Cool.
Wow.
And yeah, there we go. A nice
All up
little
your agent. Tell him that
dynamic.
pickleball's the next
I
book.
know, truly. Maybe this will be my next graphic novel. Why not? Pickleball is I love pickleball. It's huge right now. Awesome. And yeah, I'm just gonna fill out the lines so they're a lot more dynamic.
Yeah, Tobias says you busted that out so fast. I agree. It really looks so sharp now.
Thank
So,
you. I was like, oh my God, time keeps flying by. I wanted to save enough time for people to share. Um, but yeah,
looks great.
there we go. Anyone have questions about Action Comics?
Tova wants to know what kind of Procreate brush you're using.
Oh, I think I'm just using the standard one, dry ink.
Hmm.
Um, so as you can see, I have a lot of ones here. I believe dry ink, is that under inking? Yeah. So under the standard Procreate inking, I'm just using dry ink.
There you go.
Gives like a nice little texture.
Wow, that looks great. Oh, and Nico asks in the chat, do you have any advice if you want to do a dynamic pose, but you can't find a reference for it?
Oh, that's a great question. So in that case, I usually do my own references. Like I will pose how I think it should be, and then I'll either have my camera on self timer or I'll just like make my girlfriend take one of me, or like worst case I'll make her do the pose. So yeah, so actually a lot of the Kirby shots um were from me just like doing the pose.
I had a book. I no longer have a copy of it. I don't know where it went, but I know they exist. It was called the Manga Pose Resource Book, and it was drawings of absolutely ludicrous positions that you really couldn't ever position anybody in, but it was
Oh.
great for copying. Like people flying through the air and all sorts of things that you wouldn't be able
Hmm.
to get your girlfriend to do, right? You wouldn't be able to say
That's,
like
I mean, fair, yeah. I
fall
guess for
off.
like really ludicrous stuff. That's true. That's pretty cool. I'm sure there are, or like sometimes I'll look at movies, like
Yeah.
I'll think about like a movie in which this happens. Like I'm sure Avengers has like really like wild action
Mm.
shots. Yeah. Movies. I mean, pose books are always good. I have like Morphos, um, figure drawing and pose book. Um, and then where else do I look? I really look for movies and TV shows a lot of times.
Cool. Sounds good. Great. Should we take a look at some? We can I can spotlight others who
Yeah,
have hands up. Okay.
let's
I
do
think
it.
Laura, you'll have to unshare
All right.
on the iPad. Boy, that looks so cool though. Thank you for showing us that.
Yeah.
And
Stop share. Okay.
cool. All right. So we've got a few hands up. We'll go to Anne first, and then Tobias, then Zenzi, Nico, Jackie, Judith. And here, let's see if Anne's ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you ready? You're not on
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We need
Uh-huh.
to see your
What do I this thing I didn't do?
um
Oh, oh. Oops. There we go.
there we go.
There we
Oh my,
go.
there
Sorry.
we go.
So I thought maybe a caption like you never see eye to eye with the person in the next line. Um,
Oh,
but that was fun. Thank you.
I love
Wow.
that. Is this watercolor?
Yeah, I did a quick
Wow.
watercolor.
That's
Yeah.
gorgeous. I'm so impressed you did that in like 30 minutes.
Well,
Oh my
you're
gosh, that's
just
amazing.
keeping up.
Yeah, it's lovely.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Anne. we'll go to Tobias next when Tobias comes on screen. Then Zenzi, then Nico, Jackie.
It says sharing is not turned on.
I can allow that. Hang on a second. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I grabbed some fencing references. Can you guys see?
Yeah.
Okay. I really liked this particular shot. So I wanted to make that kind of like the focal top panel. And to fill up space, I just drew some like footwork, doing hitting the ground, um, and some just kind of just took direct from reference where because there's just a lot of insane stuff going on in fencing.
I love that. I love filling it up just with like different bodies and motions because then
Mhm.
it makes it feel like, oh, there's so much going on. There's actually a fencing graphic novel. I don't know if you've read it called Fence.
I had got a recommendation to read it pretty recently actually because the comic I'm working on right now has a lot of sword fighting in it. So I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Cool. Wow. That reference photo is amazing. I can't believe that's real. Like
Yeah.
thanks, thanks, Tobias.
Yeah.
Okay, we will go to Zenzi next. Let's see if they're ready. Here we go. Can't hear you, Zenzi. I don't know if you're speaking, but if not, that's okay.
So sorry about
Hi,
that. I had it muted on my end.
there we go.
So I had done a ballerina one. Uh, I didn't know how well to do it. I won't lie because I always focus way too hard on anatomy.
No, it's
Um,
gorgeous.
so the story overall is just saying it's Isabella's first time, truly. Oh yes, she has so much riding on it. It would be a real shame if she failed.
Oh,
Um, and it also kind of coincides, just making it real short, with one, a question, and two, the fact that I've been wanting to do this tango comic for years, but I've been too scared to do it because making all of it, like, I'm worried about doing all the posing, and this is definitely a reason why I wanted to attend this workshop. I guess the other question, the question I did want to ask you was when it came to dynamic posing, um not dynamic posing, when it came to dynamic panels, uh is it better to experiment or is it better just to see, okay, what else has been out there, how to make it work?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I'm always a proponent of like seeing what is out there. It can give you inspo of like what you like and what you don't like. So like Haikyuu, as I mentioned, great dynamic paneling. There's a lot of like Rosemary Valero O'Connell, there's a lot of cool paneling and Deb JJ Lee. Um, I would say usually when I think about panels is uh if you have an action scene, if you to make it stand out, if you make that one page really wild experimental panels, but all of your other pages are like the normal panels, then the moment someone goes to flips the page and sees this action scene, they're going to be like absolutely stunned by like how dynamic it is. So generally like it's great to experiment, but like have that balance so that way you can like really hit the reader as you get to that scene.
Gotcha, thank you.
cool. Thanks, Zenzi. We'll go to Nico next and then Jackie. Here we go.
Hi. I'll share. Oh, can you turn on sharing again so that way I can?
Sure. Yeah. There you go.
There we go. So I did um archery because I'm working on like a fantasy thing, so I wanted to do an archery pose. And this
Nice.
was my original sketch where I did it more regular and then I did a more dynamic pose, and then this was
Mm.
the final thing that I ended up with.
Ooh, I love that. Yeah, I love how
Thank
you
you.
foreshorten the arm. like you've like arched her back even further, and I think that like gives us so much like oomph. So that's amazing.
Yeah, it was really fun to play around with the poses and do foreshortening because that's something I definitely like to experiment with, and it's definitely a little hard to do sometimes, especially with different poses.
Super cool. Thanks, Nico.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to Jackie next.
Hi, this is I finally taken ownership of my late mother's iPad. So I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but this is me tripping over the cat on the stairs. The cat's this looks like as good a place as any to rest.
Uh,
And then it's me singing a little song, and all the cats they like to say meow meow. Every little cat it likes to say me, and then that's me falling down the stairs.
Oh my
And
gosh.
ow!
I hope this wasn't based off of a true life memory.
Oh God, no! I mean, our trips and falls have been pretty minor with these guys, but that was the most action oriented I could think of. And I did actually look up somebody tripping and falling.
Yeah, I love how your arm kind of extends into the next panel. It like
Yes.
makes the falling that much more dramatic. I also love
Oh,
that your cat is just casually licking itself as
yeah,
you're like
like,
dead on the ground.
well, thank God I'm okay, kind of thing. But yeah, I also employed these are kind of old school. I don't know if anybody has any of these,
yeah.
but these
Yeah.
are like, they're almost as good as Googling, really,
Art
for
mannequin.
poses. So
hmm
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's my art teacher would be proud for sure.
Thank you. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks, Jackie. We'll go to Judith next. And as a reminder, I'll put some ways to share
Can
in the
I share my screen?
Yeah, should be all set. There you go. Yep, Judith.
Okay, hold on. Share. Okay. Um,
Oh,
I'm gonna
Mm.
show this is like a montage. I didn't draw something new, but I always work a lot with I always love to draw from Weebridge photos. Let me see if I can get here. So this was my favorite. It's called Woman Jumping Over a Hedge. So I don't know if you people all know about him. He was a photographer 1870, 1880, and he lined up cameras with a string and had people and animals move through it, and they would take the pictures. And that's how they learned that horses don't touch the ground some of the time, all that kind of thing. So then I took this one and I turned it into this picture. So it's
wow.
basically the same one, and she's wearing high heels now. It was part of a graphic narrative that I did, but and then this is from an etching I did. She tried to be legendary, exercising faithfully.
Wow.
And
That's
then
a
this
really
was
nice
the one on the
gesture.
left is I liked it when there's a marathon in town, I go and I draw when they're running. And so this was one of my
Mm.
favorite. It was the person who was in front of the thing on the left. And then that's the one on the right is me exercising.
Wow. These are
So
really
there you
nice. I
go.
love this like the rhythm and dynamicism you have with your sketches.
I hadn't, well, yeah, I mean, these are etchings and paintings and drawing. The sketching is, oh, so I wanted to just mention the human figure, excuse me, The Natural Way to Draw by Nicolaides. He has an excellent description of gesture drawing, and it's a big part of what he teaches. And it's guaranteed to make an amazing action drawer out of everybody. It's really a good thing. Anyway, so there you go.
Thank you.
How do I get out of this now? Oh, stop share. Here we go.
Yeah. Thanks, Judith. Thanks so
Yeah.
much. Okay, we'll go to Dr. Bates now. Here we go.
Hi. So I did a runner. I found this to be really challenging for me, so it's my first
Absolutely.
action figures.
That's really awesome.
Thanks.
I love the color that you added to it and the different like poses and angles.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I think they're lovely. Thanks. Okay, we'll go to Maxine next. Maxine is there. Let's see.
Hello. Let me just explode
Hello.
them. Hello. Okay. So this is what I have been working on.
Whoa. Is the person shredding? Is that what's going on?
Yes, they're shredding.
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I love the dark ink. Like it gives it like that much stronger with that like emo shredding feel.
For
Yeah,
sure.
You did this in 30 minutes?
I did.
Wow. Amazing job.
Super cool. Thanks so much. And
Yep.
again,
Thank you.
please, everybody, you can share on social media, but you can also upload for our PDFs every week, and it's in the chat. Thanks. Here, we'll go to Jason now. Jason, you're muted. I think let's see. I asked you to unmute. Do you have an option to do that yet? There we go. Okay, good.
Um, can I share my screen too?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see. I'll share screen, start broadcasting, get rid of the Zoom meeting. Thanks for this, by the way. It's awesome, and your work looks awesome. I'm going to follow you on Instagram. I think I already did, and I think if you know people in the volleyball scene in San Francisco, you might know my son Orion. Pretty
Oh,
active in the Bay Area art scene too. Although he just moved from the Inner Sunset to Berkeley with his girlfriend. Photos.
very cool. Yeah, maybe I'll run into him when the volleyball scene.
Yeah, he's like the only white person in this whole group. Tall and skinny and white guy. He's really great artist too. But this is freestyle frisbee of the '70s, I might add. Um, Final catch move, as they call it. It's a finish move. So after a big, whole routine of freestyle frisbee, this is the pop it from your finger and drop it and catch it between your knee and your forehead move. And actually, so I have the reference photo right here too. This is the back cover of Frisbee World magazine from 1978, I think.
Oh my
And
gosh.
that's my Uncle Michael, who
Wow.
was a world champion for a long time. Also, San Francisco Ballet, the main Rat and the King Rat and the Nutcracker production on Broadway.
Oh, your uncle is very fit.
Very in shape. Yeah,
Very
holy
good.
moly.
Yeah. This is really cool. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know you could catch a frisbee like that.
Nobody did. He was the first. Thanks for that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I was gonna say I like the when you had like the little spiky lines coming out when the head hits the frisbee. I think it
Yeah.
gave it like a lot of flavor.
Thank you. Yeah, I put that on last.
Cool. Thanks, Jason. Frisbee World. All right, we'll go to Eli next. Wait, I think I got it. Hang on. There we go.
I just rushed in from work. I'm covered in poop and mud, and I only had a little while to do this. Although I will say it probably would have looked the same even if I had more time. So from like second grade up through middle school, my parents enrolled me in my greatest nightmare, the softball team. And I was always stuck out in right field because I really, really hated it. And they knew it. So the coach would always take me way out there and nothing would ever happen. So I would kind of lay down and look at ants and I would bring a science fiction paperback and have it in my back pocket and sit.
The right field?
Yeah, just sit and read until the inning was over. But one fateful day, someone hit a pop fly way out into right field, and I could hear people yelling and kind of looked up from what I was doing and just said, oh shit, it's coming right for me. And so I had to stand up and put my glove on and this was a game, it wasn't practice. So I needed to do something and I could see it coming closer and closer, and then really quite by accident, it landed right in my glove,
Ah,
and it was the last inning, and I knocked the guy. I was the third out, and so we won.
Wow. Oh my
It was
God.
an accident.
Your life is like a sports movie.
Bad news bears sports.
Yeah. I
I
love this. I love the like slow anticipation of the ball coming as you like repeat the panel. And then this is like really small, but I just really love how like when your arm is like a little curved right before it grabs the ball. I think it just like makes it that much more.
This right here is my only recorded athletic moment in my entire life. Right there, that little panel.
Your one piece of action. Yeah.
Thanks.
Amazing. Thanks, Eli. All right. I think next, is it Robin? You can tell me if I'm pronouncing that right. Oh, and you're
I think you're
muted
muted.
still. Hang on. Let me see if I can get you to. Are you able to unmute?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's Robin. I decided to draw figure skaters because I love figure skating. I'm a figure skater. So yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
There you go.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Have
Yeah.
you read Tilly Walden's Spinning?
I have.
Okay.
I love Tilly Walden.
Yeah, I absolutely love their work. Yeah, this is the first thing it reminded me of. I love your curves. Is
Thank
even like
you.
the falling, and like the twisting lines. Those are all so dynamic.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Robin. Looks great. And definitely share elsewhere so we can see it again. We'll go to Maria next.
Hi, this is great. I really am enjoying this. I really,
Wow.
so I decided to do swimming. This was my granddaughter swimming in the Atlantic last week, where I think it was pretty wavy. It wasn't quite Erin hurricane caused yet, but it was wavy. But I was trying to do panels, and it just kind of ended up being all one thing. But I really enjoyed watching how you, Laura, used the iPad to make your panels. Like you changed them, you made them bigger, you moved them around. That was very interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for sharing. I even though I drew like distinct panels in mine, I think the cool thing about yours and honestly the cool thing about any sports montage is when there are no panels, like yours just looks so much more fluid, and I think it really goes with the water, right? Like you're talking about how like it's like a very turbulent water, like everything's splashing everywhere, like water has no borders, right? So I think you made a
Yeah.
great decision on that.
Yeah, I tried to use the angles like you were, and then I was like, oh, that's not going to work with water.
Yeah, yeah, no, this is great. Like wonderful decision.
But the angles worked well on that last one with the ice skating that
Mhm.
the previous person did. Thank you.
Thanks, Maria. So we'll go to Grim and then Linda, then Bill, and Anjali. I think we're doing good on time. Okay. We'll wait for Grim to come on. You there?
My mic wasn't on.
Ah, there we go.
Hi. Sorry, this is my like second time using Zoom. Can I get screen sharing, please?
Yeah, hang on a second for that. There you go.
Is that working?
Looks like it's about to. Oh yeah, there you go.
Mm.
Awesome. Thank you guys. And thank you so much for hosting this. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I went with conductor and then I spent way too long on the top three panels and then I was like, I haven't drawn a dynamic pose yet. And I'm so glad so many people went before me because it gave me time to noodle away on it.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I loved how you set up the scene at the top. Like that's a cool, like almost like gothic looking shot. And then the bottom, like at first I was like, is that sword fighting? And then I saw the orchestra. I was like, whoa, this is like even cooler. Like this is like some like mega conductor just, like balling out. So I love it. I love the dynamicism.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I was just gonna do one of these and then I was like, I'm just gonna keep thumbnailing out different poses and see how it looks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're super fun. Thanks, Grim.
Yeah, thank you guys. I don't want to take too much time, so.
You're welcome. Okay, we'll go to Linda next.
Hey, this was so freeing and fun. Took me way out of my usual style, so thank you. I did a tribute to Dude Perfect, one of my favorite YouTube pleasures.
Yeah.
So good. But I made this be Junie, so Junie, and you see the bubble here that her mom is saying, Junie, lunchtime, and she's boinging up, and she thinks here, no, and then she says, I'm flying. And the note down here you say, Junie, and the dog goes, woof. Oh, and there's a lot of boing, boing, boing. But your foreshortening, I started with just her hand down where my reference photo showed, and I thought, no, 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 do the foreshortened hand. So this is going to be really useful too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh my God, you just took me back to my childhood with like the pogo sticks. Like I haven't seen one of those in so long. Yeah. I love that. I love the foreshortening of like your foot coming out too. I think that like really leads the eye. This is really fun.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that foot panel. Thanks, Linda. We'll go to Bill next. Here we go.
Wow. Is
Can't
Bill
kind of can't hear
speaking?
you, Bill. Yeah. Might have to click that little. It's always a
I forgot to plug the microphone into this wonderful new headset that works so well. That's attention deficit in action, extreme attention deficit. Uh, I really don't have any big action in my life. I was shocked to find out that I run like other people when my dad uh, caught me on 8 millimeter as the fourth string because they didn't cut anybody from seventh grade football. But there was one time in eighth grade when none of the lunkheads knew what to do with a 2 foot round, 2 foot diameter volleyball, but I did. And the gym teacher actually picked me to represent our class. Then, when everybody else acted like there was something horribly wrong, he changed his mind. And our team lost, probably because their team IQ dropped by 2 standard deviations, which I could not have told them then. But then another one. Come on, pages. I figure all those guys are probably type 2 diabetics now, but nobody ever had to say to me, move like you have a purpose. In my return to college, I walked past exercise walkers and I was pulling a trailer loaded with books and laptop. On my cleaning job, I discovered years of grunge on the handrails for the spiral staircase, and I went up and down that stair, basically doing the breaststroke, sweating a lot, and scrubbing both handrails at once with cloths that I turned black. I could probably do the breaststroke now, something I couldn't do before. And it's all because I was the guy who would actually get up to change the channel. I once watched two large friends just slumped on a sofa, looking at each other, and each kind of going like, "Yeah, why don't you go? Why don't you?" They didn't say a thing. They just, as little movement as possible, tried to get the other one to get up and change the channel. And I watched that, and I figured, like, I'm not going to watch that all day. So that's that. And I have done the action foreshortening thing before. I did this because the word came up in Inktober. Let's see. And that's a frisbee golf driver with a heavy rim. And I illustrated mine so I could tell mine from everybody else's. So that's what I actually drew on mine.
Frisbee golf.
And that's all I've got. I'm glad I remembered that I was here tonight.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I love the little cat creatures.
Yeah. Thanks, Bill. Okay. Anjali is here. We haven't seen Anjali in a while.
I know, I've been so busy. Hey, can you let me share my screen, please?
Yeah, is that set on? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, wait. Is it on more
Uh,
or is it under?
it's usually a button called share, I think. It's green.
Oh,
It's really
oh my
lit up
gosh.
green. Yeah.
I am having a silly moment. Okay, so I think you guys can see this now.
Yeah.
It's funny. I just came back from archery practice, so I'm approaching it a little. I love how dynamic we saw the fantasy archery a few shares ago. Archery to me is a little more contemplative, so here's page one. Kind of getting a view of when you're staring at your target and you're aiming. And then page two is I did not get to ink it as quickly as page one, but I threw all the energy into what happens when you release and fire. So it's very, to
Mm,
me, it's a very stable, steady until you release. So that's where
Mm.
we're going, and hopefully I'll finish inking in like, but it was very fun. Um, it's funny too because like I am thinking of, oh, how can we make it more crazy? And I'm like, unfortunately, in my experience, it hasn't been the same kind of like, let's do a cool angle, but I got ideas of how to make this last panel with all of the built pent up energy that's released. So
mhm.
I'll go back to that. But thanks so much for
Yeah.
hosting, Laura. Well, shit.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And of course, like I think you can use that to your advantage where if up until that last panel you're very like methodical, you're very like straight edge and just trying to show more of the slow build up and process. And then this last one, like I love all these like really fast squiggly lines showing like even the arrow itself is like squiggly. I think
Yeah,
by
they don't go straight.
juxtapositioning that last panel hits that much harder.
Yeah, they don't go straight when they fly through the air. They actually bend. So trying to get that. Thank you.
Super cool. Thank you for sharing.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Anjali.
Yep.
Okay, we'll try. We have time, I think, for our last four here. Tova will go to Tova, and then Edgar, then Kai, then Vin. Here we go.
Hello. Thank you, Laura. That was really great. I know I need a lot of work on that particular issue. So I'm gonna see if I can show you this. I picked stilts, walking on stilts. So I've got a person getting up on stilts, then they're splitting, and then they fall down, and then they decide, well, it's time for some higher level thinking. So they get a ladder to use to climb up on the stilts. Then they're saying, hey, what are they saying? Oh, there's another person in there, and he's telling the person, don't breathe on me. Don't breathe heavy, because he's wobbly. Then you've got the person he's now managed to be walking along and feeling like, this is going to work okay. Okay, then the next panel, you can see that there's a boulder rolling down a hill. And then in the meantime, he's saying, well, this isn't hard. This is pretty easy. Then, of course, what you got in the final is he falls down and the person says, well, that's why they call it a stilt-a-whirl. So that's
Oh my
it.
gosh, that's so funny. Thank
Wow.
you. Have you ever used the stilts before?
Maybe once. Yeah, I think I have once. Yeah. It's a little tricky, but
Yeah, totally.
you gotta
Very
have
cool.
good balance.
Thanks, Tova. That's
Yeah.
super cool. All right, we'll go to
Thank
Edgar
you.
next.
Well, thank you, Tom, and thank you, Laura, for the inspiration. I call my panel or my page Edgar's Wide World of Sports. And we start out in the first grade at Sidwell Friends School. I am introduced to the annual sports event, Red and Gray Day. I am always gray and dream of winning the 100-yard dash. There I am. I imagine I'm like the superhero, the Flash. but usually classmate Brooks Coville wins each year. 5th grade at the Betts Taylor tennis camp, Edgar saves the point with his brilliant defense. 8th grade, Edgar makes the basketball team. Sure, I'm second string, but there is a third string. In reality, I can't jump that high, but this is my memory. In the 9th grade of upper school, I am one of the few freshmen that receive a varsity letter. I'm on the wrestling team, 98-pound division. The little guys were always the toughest or meanest. And here's my opponent from St. Albans, who says to me, "God damn it, Russell, roll over." I lost on points, but the St. Albans coach who trained future Olympic champions came up to me afterwards to relay a message from the wrestler. I was his toughest opponent ever. And that's the truth. Even today, at age 71, I fall to my knees singing the third verse of Secret Agent Man. Swinging on the Riviera one day, and then laying in a Bombay alley next day. And there's Tom Saputo, the keyboardist, accompanying me. And then I get up again all by myself. And what action pose will I take at age 80? Maybe kissing the Moon Princess. Anyway, that's my page. So thank you. This was a wonderful trip down memory lane, and maybe for the future.
I love that. Man, I hope I'm half as active as you are at your age. This is great.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Edgar. I like that idea of a trip down memory lane, but a trip down the future also.
Yes, yes. We should always look forward to as well as the past, at least in my humble opinion.
Oh, awesome, Edgar. Thanks.
Thank you.
We'll go to Kai next, and then we'll finish up with Vin.
Yeah, so my comic is of me running up to my friend to take a selfie of her. So, first starts out that she's just standing there, says run, and then I'm running towards her. So you can see she's getting closer, yelling, ah. And these are some action shots of me running and then clicking my camera and a zoomed in of her face, the selfie that I took. So that's all.
I love
Yeah.
that. Oh man,
Thanks.
it's probably harder because you're on paper, but I can imagine like when you're like running and taking a picture when it gets like blurry, like almost like that SpongeBob
Exactly,
meme.
exactly.
Really,
Yeah.
I get the feel
Yeah,
of that in that
here's
panel.
oh, I actually don't have the photo pulled up, but yeah, exactly that. Or wait, I have it pulled up on my computer. I'm gonna just put it in the chat. Oh, I can't because of admin restrictions, but
Yeah, you can put the URL in the chat, but it's hard to, yeah, you can't put the picture.
yeah, it's a Google photo, so I don't actually know how to. Oh, wait.
Give it a try.
Yeah. Okay. How about this? Can you guys see it?
Probably. We'll go to
Oh,
Vin.
yep. It's the
You got it?
exact blurriness I can imagine.
Oh, nice. Oh, I see. It's not.
Yeah. I mean, I like the blurriness of the lights. Like if you ever color your thing, that would be super cool to see on the comic.
Yeah. Yeah. Someday maybe I'll have the talent to do that. Thank you so much. A great workshop.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Kai. That was a great comic. Vin is our last one. Let's see if Vin's there. Need you to unmute. Yep. We can't hear you. Okay. Yeah, I think so. Try again.
Knock, knock.
There we go.
Okay, bet. So, dang it, where's my crud? I'm misplacing everything right now. Here it is. Okay. All right. So, um, mine was done on a completely different computer, even though it's sitting right in front of me, but it's blurry as all heck. I'm not sure you can see that.
Can you get it parallel to the screen a little more? We might be able to see it. It might not be blurry.
One sec. I think I can do this.
Oh. Boxing.
Oh,
There we go.
boxing?
Yeah. Yeah, I had an idea for a boxing story. I had never really been into boxing. I had never done it, but I had trained at a martial arts school fresh out of high school for a couple months. And one of the things I thought was unique about it was that it was so simple. It's possible you could mix it with a style of boxing, kind of like Bruce Lee did. But this was me just kind of being in a street fight, in a sense, from my imagination and winning the fight. Nothing too extravagant. I sort of hopped in late, so this was the best I could do in an estimated 15 minutes, I suppose.
Nice. No, it's cool. I can't see the full fidelity of your lines, but like what I can see is
Sorry.
really cool. Oh, okay. I see
Oh,
now.
yeah, look at that face.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
person getting
swing.
punched. Yeah.
Oh, that's a sick use of yeah, that's a sick use of just like the angles, right? Like the face coming towards the camera.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
I really
appreciate
like
that.
that.
Sorry, it's not in sorry I couldn't give you like better quality of the picture.
No, that was great.
That was good. Thanks. Thanks, Ben. All right. We'll go back to Laura. Laura, that was fun. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I had such a wonderful time. I mean, thank
I
you so
think
much everyone for just bringing the energy and being a part of
I
it.
think I think sports and action is a great leveler. I didn't expect it. Like everybody had something to share, and you saw so many different types of stories, but everybody had one, like even if it's falling down the stairs, like Jack.
Yeah.
But but everybody's got experience, with the body and having us do that thing where we sort of like exaggerated a little or accentuated. That was super fun, and I don't think we all get a chance to do that, to sort of play with our imagination and our senses and our body that way. So thanks, that was great. I'm going to ask, well, wait, you got to tell us one more time the name of your book and where to get it. I'm going to put it
Oh,
in the chat.
yes. Yeah, so I just got so this is my first one, Messy Roots. I know it looks opposite in the picture, but this is my first. And then the one with the rock climbing is this one, Kirby's Lessons for Falling in Love. And yeah, and
Awesome.
you can find me online at hello, hey Laura Gao. And if anyone ever has questions or anything, like my DMs are always open.
What's your next book? I know you probably hate questions like that,
Oh
but you
man.
have a book?
Oh,
Should I not?
it's a work in progress.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There will still be a lot of good action and good fun. But yeah, I'll let you know when I get something going.
All right. I'm going to ask everybody to unmute and give you a round of applause. Thanks so much for coming back, Laura. It was super fun. And
Thank
really,
you.
really fun to draw all those action poses. Don't forget to post in the PDFs, everybody. You should be able to unmute. And
Thank you.
there we
Thank
go.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thanks, everybody.
Everybody was so good.
Paragor,
Thank
next
you.
week. We'll see you next time.
Next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank
Thanks, Laura.
you.
Peace.